Good day. I'm Joseph Noor. I'm a medical doctor and a biochemist, and I'm the author of Document X, Direct Evidence of God's Existence. Let's begin our journey of discovery. I promise you it'll be a fascinating and enlightening journey. Now, what better place to start than the creation of our awe-inspiring universe? Now, our modern understanding of the origin of the universe is based on the Big Bang model, because it's the most widely accepted scientific account of the origin of the universe, because it's supported by a mass of evidence. What this theory proposes basically is that our universe erupted into existence some 13.5 billion years ago, and this was no ordinary explosion that happened at a particular time, at a particular place. It created space and time. Now, as the universe erupted into existence, it expanded, propelled by the energy outburst caused by the Big Bang. And as it expanded, it cooled in accordance with the well-known principle that expansion causes cooling. And in those first moments of creation, the energy created by the Big Bang underwent a series of phase transitions. It pushed out the fabric of space and time, and some of it was converted to matter. And the first matter particles that appeared were quarks, electrons, and other particles. And as the universe continued to expand and cool, under this decreased influence of temperature, various other species of particle came into existence. The quarks combined with each other to form protons and neutrons. Now, a proton basically is a hydrogen nucleus, and most of the protons would exist as such. Some combined to form helium. Now, helium consists of two protons. Now, hydrogen and helium were the simplest and the first two nuclei that formed after the Big Bang, and some traces of lithium. And these are gases, and this constitutes about more than 99% of the cosmic material. Now, it's striking that within the first 3 minutes, more than 99.9% of the contents of the visible universe was formed. In the beginning, there was a very tight interaction between matter and radiation. Radiation can be understood to consist of light particles called photons. And this tight interaction, because of the high energy situation, trapped the photons and gave the universe a kind of a opaque appearance. If you were an observer at the time, the universe would have appeared misty and hazy to you. Now, because of the high energy situation, the electrons could not take up their positions around the nuclei. They were simply displaced by the highly energetic photons. So for the next few 100,000 years, the universe would continue to expand and cool until something dramatic happened around about 380,000 years after the Big Bang. The temperature is now cooled sufficiently, and this allowed the electrons to take up the positions around nuclei to form atoms. And this uncoupling of matter and radiation released the photons, which streamed in all directions, flooding the cosmos with light. And the universe changed from an opaque universe to a transparent universe. Matter was also now free to begin structure building. Now, during those first few 100,000 years, the universe was formless. None of the familiar structures we see today, like stars and planets and galaxies, existed. This period is known as the Cosmic Dark Ages. So the first structures that formed, it took about 400 million years for them to appear. And these were supermassive stars. And about 400 million years later, infant galaxies began to take shape. Now, a galaxy is a large collection of stars and gas and dust bound by the mutual gravitational force. In about 1.2 billion years after the Big Bang, modern galaxies became recognizable. Our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, came into existence around about 10 billion years ago, and our solar system formed in one of the spiral arms of the Milky Way galaxy about 4.5 billion years ago. It would take another 3.5 billion years for the first forms of life to appear. And our direct ancestors only appeared 200,000 years ago, which is a blink in the cosmic scale of things. And this, in essence, is the Big Bang.